very touching scene in the movie.
It just seems transcendent to me that you have this very complex, unpredictable, always changing, never the same phenomena that's always kind of the same. And it's showing the power of computation, but it's a system that's actually not that complex. It's a metaphor for the way the brain is organized, which is, you look at that picture of the neocortex, which, as I mentioned, was a simulation, looks extremely complex. But you get this complexity from sort of a expansion of fairly simple rules. And the brain is a fractal in that way. Now, it's, the Mandelbrot set is considered a supreme example of complexity. It's on the cover of a book called Complexity. And then you look at it, it's extremely complicated. And you zoom in on it, and there's some movies on the internet where you can zoom in. And as you zoom in, you see complexity within complexity, and it's never ending, and it always looks different. But the Mandelbrot set is, the design of it is 6 letters long, expanded iteratively and fractally. Now, the brain is not that simple. It's not 6 letters long. I think it's 25 million letters long. That is actually what we can see in the genome. But it is expanded like a fractal. And the ocean is a little bit like that, too. You have these water molecules. They have a certain way of interacting with each other. It's not simple, but it's not as complex as it looks, because you repeat that basic paradigm of how water interacts with each other, trillions fold with all these water molecules. And you get this very beautiful, soothing, ever-changing pattern. Our brains are like that. They're more complex than the ocean.
When I saw the scene in the movie, it reminded me of Leonardo da Vinci, who did probably pretty much the same. He wanted to discover how these waves come and what the complexity behind that is. So that's very great.
Find some simplifying, unifying phenomena that can explain phenomena that's always changing and always different. It reminds me of my grandfather came back from Europe. It was actually the first trip to Europe that he took after fleeing Hitler, which he did in 1938. So this was in the 50s when I was a child. And he was given the opportunity to examine some of these original treatises by Leonardo da Vinci, the actual codexes, one of which Bill Gates acquired. And he spoke about it in reverential terms, like it had a religious experience. And that was the philosophy, the religion, if you will, of my family. Sort of a reverence for human ideas and their ability to overcome problems and change the world. And, Leonardo da Vinci was a good example of that for him.
Integrated circuits